whispered logic puzzles. Thank you for joining me. I'm Andrea, and I'm going to play through level 18 of Sandwich Sudoku by Cracking the Cryptic. Okay, there's just one on the board. In this row, the digits between the 1 and the 9 add up to 19, which can be done with 3 or 4 digits. That means the 9 could be here or here. And in this column, the digits between the 1 and the 9 add up to 15, which can be 2, 3, or 4 digits. That means the 9 could be here, here, or here. Alright, okay. In this column, there's a 27 between the 1 and the 9. That means there's 5 digits at a minimum, so I can put X's through the center. Here there's a 29, which is 5 digits at a minimum. X's through the center. One thing to note, there's a 6 involved, so it will be 5 digits. Here's a 28, which is a minimum of 5 digits. Again, X's. 22 is a minimum of 4 digits, so I can put an X on the very center. Something I've noticed here, this 6, it's 1 or 2 digits, so there can't be a 1 or a 9 here because it'd be 3 digits. So one of them will be here, and the other will be over here. See, a 23, minimum of 4 digits, so an X in the center. 29, minimum of 5 digits, so X's in the center. Okay, looking here. This is a 14. Let's say one of them was in here. If a 1 or a 9 was up here, the other one would have to be down here. But it couldn't be because this is a 0 and they have to be together, which means both the 1 and the 9 are here. And that finishes off that row. Okay, in this column, the 1 and the 9 are next to each other again. So the other one will be right there. In this column, the digits between the 1 and the 9 add up to 22. That can be done with 4 or 5 digits. But there's a 2 outside of it, so none of them with a 2. So it'll be 4 digits, 1, 2. That will put it right there. Okay. In this row, the digits between the 1 and the 9 add up to 6. That will put it here or here. In this row, the digits between the 1 and the 9 add up to 23, which is 4 or 5 digits. That will put the other one here or here. In this column now, I've got the 1 and only 1 opening left, so this is the 9. And in this row, the digits between the 1 and the 9 add up to 6, which is 1 or 2 digits. We'll put the 1 here or here. And in this square, the only opening left right here is for the 1. In this column, the digits between the 1 and the 9 add up to 14, which is 2, 3, or 4 digits. So it will be here or here. And this is the last opening in this square, so this is the 9. In this row, the digits between the 1 and the 9 add up to 14. That can be 2, 3, or 4 digits. which is 5 or 6 digits. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That will put the 1 right here. I was about to, because in this row, the digits between the 1 and the 9 add up to 6, which is 1 or 2 digits, and I wondered if it could be over here. But I noticed in this row, there's only 2 openings. So actually, the 9 will be right there. Matching up with the 1 right here. And we'll go with where that leads, but I'll put the X here, so the 9 will be here or here. And now this is a 9. 1, 9, 1. In this column, the digits between the 1 and the 9 add up to 28, which is 5 or 6 digits, which will put the 9 right here. In this column, one of them will be up here, the others will be down here, so this is the 9. And now, in this square, the only opening left for the 1 is right there. 9. And there was 5 digits in this, as we can see right there, so the 1 goes right here. The only opening left here is right there, and that's the 9. Okay. So the 1 will be here or here, but there's already a 1 in this row, so this is the 1. And that finishes this row also. And we'll put the 9 right here. And all the 1s and the 9s are accounted for now. Okay. Alright, so let's see. In this row, there are 2 digits that add up to 6. That makes them a 2 and a 4. In this row, there are 4 digits that add up to 19. And I can't narrow them down further. In this row, there are 2 digits that add up to 14. That makes them a 6 and an 8. Again, in this row, 2 digits that add up to 14. So a 6 and an 8. And then in this row, 2 digits that add up to 6. So a 2 and a 4. And that they're together. 4 digits that add up to 23. I can't narrow that down yet. 5 digits that add up to 29. So there's a 2 out here. Then in 3, 5, 6, 7, 8. So the other digit out here is a 4. In this row, 2 digits that add up to 6. So it's a 2 and a 4. And this column, they're right beside each other. And this column, 4 digits that add up to 22 that don't include 2. In this column, 5 digits that add up to 28. Up here is either a 2 or a 4. So that will kind of define what this is. For sure, we've got a 6, 7, and 8 in here. Then a 2 or a 4 up here. That means down here will be either a 3 or a 5, depending. So up here, if it's a 2, this will be a 5. If up here's a 4, then this will be a 3. And here are 5 digits to add up to 29. The 2 and the 4 are left out. So put that right there. And 3 digits that add up to 14. This one is either a 6 or an 8. That has an 8. That doesn't have a 6 or an 8. And that doesn't. That has a 6. Down here is a 2 or a 4. So it can't be this one because this has a 2 and a 4. That means this is a 6 and an 8. And that means the other two digits are a 3 and a 5. In this column, two digits that add up to 5. That'll be 2 and 3. This is a 2 or a 4, so we'll use the 2. Put a 3 here, a 4 here, and now this is a 5 and a 3. And this is a 4 and a 2. I was just noticing with the 4 here and a 4 over here, in this square the 4 will be right here. Okay. In this column, we've got 5 digits that add up to 27. It has a 4, also has a 6 or an 8, okay. Can't narrow that down any further yet. In this column, 2 digits add up to 15. That will be a 7 and an 8. This is 6 or 8, so we'll go with 8, and 7, and 6. In this column, 3 digits add up to 14. Okay. Let's see if I can see anything else. Okay. So in this row, I've got a 3. So I can cross a couple more out. This is either a 2 or a 4. Okay. So then, we've either got 5, 7 or 6, 8. You know what? It can't be 6 and 8 for these two because one of them would have to be here and there's already a 6 and an 8. So it will be 3, 4, and then 5 and 7. So 4, 2, 4, and this square already has a 7, so the 5 goes here, the 7 here. And when I'm at it, this square's almost done, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now this column, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. Let's see. Okay, one thing. Okay, in this square, there's a 4 and a 2. And in this square, there's a 4 and a 2. So there can't be any 4s or 2s. So it'll be 3, 5, 7, 8. Let's see. All of these can be 3, 5, 7, 8. And this has a 3 or a 5. So this will be 7 or 8. And actually, this has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So these two down here are 7 and 8, which means that can't be 7 or 8. That's just 3 or 5, which means this is also 3 or 5. And the square, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We'll have 7 and 8. This row has an 8, so the 8 will be here, and the 7 here. Okay, so 3, 5, 7, 8. That means over here will be 2, 4, and 6. So there's already a 4 and a 6 in this column, so this will be the 2. the squares. So 1, there's a 2 in this row, so a 2 could be in either of these. I've got 3, and I've got a 4 in this, or a 4 in this row. So this is the 4, which means this is the only spot left for 2. Then I've got 5, then one of these will be a 6, and the 7 is here. There's an 8 in this column, so this is the 8, and this is the 6. Okay, that means that this is a 4, and this is a 6. Okay, down here I've got 1, 2 in this column, this row, this column. So this is the 2. 3 in this row, so this is a 3. Then I've got 4, and this will be 5, then 6, 7, 8, 9. This row I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Got 8 right here, then 9. Okay. This row up here is almost done too. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and it's a 7, then 8, 9. Okay, down here, got 1, 2, there's a 3 in this column, and in that column, one of these two will be a 3. Then I've got a 4, and I have 5 in both of these columns, so one of these will be a 5, and 6, and this is a 7, and then 8, 9. Okay, in this row, I've got a 3, 5 here and a 3, 5 here. So there's 1, 2, 3 will be in one of those. 4, 5 will be in one of those. Then a 6 over here. Then a 7 and an 8 over here. So 6 and 8. Okay. I guess let's go back up to the top one. There's 1. Okay, I've got a 2 in this row, and in this column, so a 2 could be here or here. You know what, before I go any further up here, I remember this column. I said if there was a 4 up here, then one down here would be 3. So that means this column is going to be 2, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so we'll look further at that in a minute. I'll finish this. So 2, 3, I've got a 3 in those 2 rows and this column, so 3 is here. Then we've got a 4, 5 are in both of these rows, so 5 will be here. Then a 6 will be in here. I've got 7 and 8 is in these rows, this column. But one of these will be an 8. Okay, here. This square I've got 1. Got a 2 in this row. 2 in this column, so a 2 can be here or here. Okay, 3. Got a 3 in these 2 rows and this column. So one of these is a 3. Okay, 4. Got 4 in both these rows, this column and this column. So this is the 4. That means this is the only option left for 3 and the only option left for 2, which makes this one a 5 and a 3 and a 2. That means this is a 7 and this is a 5 and a 3, a 5, a 3, and a 5. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. And now for 5. I've got a 5 in this column and this column. So this is a 5 2. We've got 3, 4, and 7. And the other digit is an 8. That makes this a 6.